Hi, this is Kelly Madison. I'm going to be discussing my capstone research project, which is uncovering the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. And in my abstract, I discussed, basically the question was, how can adults be walking around with symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder and not realize it? Or are there adults walking around with post-traumatic stress disorder and they're unsuspecting of it? Maybe they have symptoms of it. And are these symptoms something that referred back to childhood, possibly abuse or trauma that was experienced during childhood that caused symptoms of post-traumatic stress to develop in their life, but as adults and going through their life and the series of different things with relationships and life events, things such as that, milestones that happen in life. Some people have a few difficulties attaining certain things in life, or having the confidence to complete projects or have successful intimate relationships, or lots of other kinds of things that happen to people when they've actually suffered trauma. So post-traumatic stress today in today's world, is not just from the shell shock victims of World War I, as they were first called. Post-traumatic stress disorder affects people from the death of a parent, from survivors of Hurricane Katrina, from a severe auto accident, or you're watching your child have a seizure. It could be from traumatic events in life as well. So what I want to uncover in my research project, or what my paper is going to be attempting to uncover, are the signs of PTSD, and going to be defining PTSD. And then I'm going to also present in this paper trauma, different types of trauma that may have been experienced in life. It could be trauma that's related to sexual abuse, either as an adult or as a child. It could have been from parental neglect, or just violence in general, trauma of that sort. So I won't be dealing with post-traumatic stress disorders that dealt with environmental factors or of the war or things like that. My post-traumatic stress that I want to uncover in this project is going to be more focused on the relationships that people have with each other. A relationship type of trauma, basically, is what I'm trying to uncover in this paper. And the more research I do, I find myself finding more questions or more things that I'm trying to stay focused actually on one thing. And I don't just want to go over childhood sexual abuse, because there's a lot more to uncover with maybe adults that are experiencing some type of post-traumatic stress disorder and maybe don't even realize it. And then the people that I'm talking about that may be unsuspecting of post-traumatic stress disorder are persons that get into abusive relationships. And also in this paper, I'm going to define what abuse is and the different types of abuse that persons may encounter and why they stay in abusive relationships, and then what abusive relationships do to a person, which causes trauma. And trauma, sometimes people don't know how to get out of traumatic situations, or don't even realize that what they're experiencing is actually trauma because of the circumstances that they're in begins to be a cycle in their life. And they experience things over and over again. And then most people that experience trauma in their life, maybe they've moved on from their abusive relationships, and they're in what they feel like is a very productive stage of their life, and then a trigger happens. And when a trigger happens to someone that's experienced symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, or they are living with post-traumatic stress maybe, and like I said, don't realize it, a trigger will spur things that happen that's locked away deep in the memory. And one of my keywords in my paper is going to be overgeneralized autobiographical memory. And what that is something that the body uses as a defense mechanism to protect you from harmful memories. So people that suffer and don't really realize it, I'm hoping to bring awareness to that there are individuals that don't even realize they're suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Sometimes the medical community will put persons that are experiencing symptoms of post-traumatic stress into a mental disorder, such as borderline personality, sometimes bipolar. They're very similar in their symptoms base according to the research that I've been doing. So that's what I hope to uncover today. And then I also want to provide treatment solutions that are available to those that are, or that you may know. So what I hope that the class, or that my fellow students at USM in the capstone right now would be interested in listening to my, or reading my research paper. And then maybe they'll be able to recognize if they have a loved one, or if they know someone, or maybe within themselves, or a parent, or even in a relationship, personal relationship, intimate relationship that they may have, that others may be exhibiting signs of things that could be related to trauma. So I hope to help in the long run, because communication, whenever someone is suffering from any type of trauma or abuse or situations in their life, communication, being able to communicate about events in your life, is the most important way to be able to recover from stressful events. There's always going to be therapy or more things that will happen from people that have experienced trauma in their life, whether it's, like I said, from hurricane victims, which we in this state and from the Gulf Coast area are probably know someone that, more than likely probably knows someone that suffered a lot during Hurricane Katrina. And you could have coworkers along your life that may be experiencing things, and maybe this will help you pick up on things and give a little more common courtesy to people when you don't really understand the way someone is acting at times, and just give you a little piece to think about at times. So anyway, this is Kelly Madison, and I hope to be able to present my findings of post-traumatic stress disorder for all of you. Thanks for listening.